When I tell you I'm Moroccan, what do you picture? Do you think of camel rides on the Sahara's scorching hot sand? Do you think of the sun setting behind tall dunes? Do you think of large, beautiful tent camps in the middle of nowhere as you lay there, staring at the infinite sky? Do you think of starry nights, unpolluted by the clouds of city life? When I tell you I'm Moroccan, do you think of narrow streets, sharp twists and turns, hidden jewels on every corner of the old traditional city centre of Marrakesh? The Medina, as we call it, thousands of years old. Do you think of the ornate walls carved with Arabic, warm to the touch after days under the sun? Do you think of beautiful riads, houses resembling palaces with lush green gardens, courtyards in the heart of the building? Do you think of embroidered rugs, magic hand-woven into every thread? Do you think of orange blossoms, rose water and palm trees, with dates ripe for your picking? When I tell you I am Moroccan, do you think of hips swaying to the beat of what is lumped together as Oriental music? Sun-kissed skin, dark hair, long eyelashes, red lipstick, exotic, belly dancer. Or do you think of long jalabas, hijabs, and maybe even niqabs? Do you know the difference? Do you think of handmade jewelry, bargaining at flea markets, and eating cheap street food? Do you think of the blend of sugar and salt, like in the bstela, a traditional dish, crumbling pastry filled with chicken and crushed almonds, powdered with cinnamon and sugar? When I tell you I'm Moroccan, do you think strikingly beautiful, ethnic? Do you think summer? Do you think holiday? Different, a curiosity? Looking for better things.
سميتي سارة وأنا من مراكش.
My grandparents too
بابا وماما
moved to the city.
لحقوا فاطمة ولاد الرشيدية ومروتشا 11
Everyone
ديال
has the
الأطلس.
chance and the privilege to do so.
رحلوا لمراكش
Does
قبل ما
so.
يولدوني.
For better things, modern things, Western things, American things, European things, things. Always more things. Looking for these better things, my parents enrolled me in the American School of Marrakesh. And although I have walked the streets of Marrakesh all of my life, I still choke on my own mother tongue. My throat, so full of languages, I was told would open doors for me. Doors that were closed for other Moroccan kids, our own version of Friday, for my parents and their parents. But what I was not told was that it would close the door to my own home. It feels like the more languages I speak, the more I lose myself. The languages in my throat mimic the same pattern as global dynamics. I speak English, French, Arabic, and Amazigh in that order of fluency.
اسم النو سارة توماش.
I think in English.
تربت من الحو من فاطمة قشا.
But I'm not in English. I am struggling to write my existence through a language that is not mine. I lie here in my bed. I have reached better things. There are times where I lay awake at night, trying to recollect memories from home. Pictures with friends, a flag, a map on my four walls. Trying to hold on to smells, sounds, thoughts, moments. When I close my eyes and I think of home, I think of my grandmother. Her smell, a strange mix of msimmin, mazhar and vanilla. Always in the kitchen, she expresses her love by baking cookies. Moroccan cookies. Almond and pistachio filling, dripping with honey and glistening with sesame seeds. فقاس, كعب غزال, سلو, غريبة. But I never liked them growing up. They were not the chocolate chip cookies I saw on TV, nor the French croissant at the bakery by my house that my mom only got when guests came over, pairing them with café au lait or atay bin nana. When I think of home, I think of my mom's kitchen. Enough smells to make my head spin. Thyme, romarin, qzbour, medina, cinnamon, merge with saffron الحور. Des couleurs partout. حمد المصير, leather bags, colorful scarves, الزربيات, نقرة ديال بصح. Je pense à la Médina, avec des montagnes d'épices sur chaque coin. I think of the cacophony of sounds, donkey carts, motorcycles, people yelling, different prices in different languages, cars, all coexisting on the same streets. When I think of home, I think of contradictions. That you want to experience my way of life, but I want to be more like you. Swapping curls for straight hair, shalabas for crop tops, bilghat for high heels, tracing our eyes with liner instead of traditional khul like our grandparents, switching incense for scented candles, listening to the US Top 40 on the radio on my way to school. It is the place where other Moroccans like me have tattoos and understand how much of an act of resistance that is. It is a place where girls dance, swaying their hips to the sound of electro music, without being seen as the exotic other Morocco loco. It is the place where I feel that holding hands is not seen as an illegal act or an act of rebellion. Pour un amour de la musique, de la danse. Where we celebrate open-mindedness in a country where we forgot what we do out of habit and what we do out of faith. I started this project trying to make a short video about Morocco, trying to explain my home to people, trying to explain this thing, this identity, this feeling, being foreign in a land that is my own. Trying to explain the heavy silence when I stumble upon my words in English, to the beat of a Morocco that feels synonymous with nostalgia. I am glistening, gleaming with a sense of belonging in a land that sees me as foreign. Then I realized that's not what this is about. Not having a home, or trying to find one, or the space between what is home and what is not. Rather, this is about a home that is not a static entity. That the idea of home is more fluid than the one of nations, of countries, ethnicities, or races. Because what I am describing is not a thing. It is the space in between two other things, here and there, foreign and local, us and them, me and you. I am lost in between the two, stuck in the space between studying abroad and going home for break. The lines blur, making me always other. A favorite poet of mine wrote, "Too foreign for here, too foreign for home, never enough for both." She called it diaspora blues. But I am not the diaspora. I have walked the streets of Marrakesh all of my life before leaving for school. I still answer Morocco when people ask where I am from. I am still restricted by my green passport with big, bold, golden letters in Arabic. I still have to abide by Moroccan law. Fast during the month of Ramadan, not be physically intimate before marriage. My introduction was written for me generations ago. Painted with brushes dipped in words I only started understanding after they had already been etched on me. Tattooed behind my eyelids, tainting everything I look at, including my reflection in the mirror. Every time I go back home, I carry in my suitcase an army of new words. Words like racial microaggression, Arabization, double consciousness, misogyny, the patriarchy, feminism, intersectionality, cultural appropriation, globalization, modernization, westernization, code switching, every word added to my vocabulary, a weapon added to my armor. As I fight to carve myself a space in the places that do not see me. Explaining my gap year to my grandmother, she thought I dropped out of high school. Trying to translate expressions like hazelhim, but care, concern, just do not cut it. You'd think all these words would help me translate me to others. When I think of home, I think of my mother sitting at the table, drinking a whole teapot to herself, in silence. She yells at me when I play music, telling me, "Tansan tlada mi'afek." Literally, I am listening to my bones, but meaning I am listening to myself, indulging in silence, so much so that I can hear my bones, so please, don't interrupt my silence. It is sacred. It took me leaving the country to understand her. I just learned to call that mindful meditation.